Alright class, in this video I'm going to be talking about a power of a power property. If you have questions on the first one, I've already made a video for you. So let's go ahead and look at this property. So if you can see from the rule here, now we have a and m, or a to the m power. All of this is in parentheses. And that is going to be raised to the n power. So what happens if you have a power that's being raised from another power? Well, you're going to find a power of a power by multiplying the exponents, as you can tell from this, from the rule here. So that's what I want to show you down here. So the rule is to multiply, but let me show you the longer way, like why it happens. Why is that the case? So in the first one, I have y to the second power raised to the fourth. So in this case, what I've underlined right now is my base. So you're really going to have your base and your exponent. Okay, so whatever your exponent is attached to, that's going to be your base. So basically, I'm going to copy y to the second 4 times. So right now, y to the second power will look like this, y times y. But if you were to copy and paste like you would on a document, this exact term here, it's going to be 4 times. So let me go ahead and show you that. Because of this 4, I'm going to go ahead and do y times y. Really is y times y times y times y times y times y. So here are the groups. Here's the first group, here's the second group, here's the third group, and here's the fourth group. Okay? So I just expanded what's in the parentheses, and then I just copied them in groups of 4 groups. Okay, so then, if I were to add all of these y's together, my base is still the same as y. All of these have y to the first power. So for what I learned in my last rule, if they had the same base, all you have to do is add your exponents, and you'll have y to the 8th power. So that's the long version. The shorter version is, what you do is take the base of y to the second power, and you multiply it by the exponent that's standing outside. So y to the 8th power. As you can tell, it's the exact same answer as what we got before. Alright, so for the next problem, my base is 2x squared. I'm going to use a different color now. This is my base. My exponent is 4, so what that means is I'm going to copy whatever I have in parentheses 4 times. So inside the parentheses, let me expand that for you. So really it's going to be 2 times x times x. So that right now what I'm going to do is just copy this 4 times. Okay, I went ahead and did that for you. I've underlined the groups, so I should have 4 groups of 2x squared. So here we go. And now what you're going to do is simplify. Take all your 2's and you're going to multiply them together. So 2 times 2 times 2 times 2. I'm going to go ahead and write that down here. So 2 times 2 times 2 times 2. And then times x. Remember, all of these x's have, it's actually x to the first power. So if I add them all together, I should get 8. And then you just simplify them more. 2 times 2 times 2 times 2 is not 8, it is 16, x to the 8th power. So that's the long version. Now let's see, using the rule, what that's going to look like. So what I'm going to do is, think of the distributive property. I have to distribute that exponent to everything that's inside the parentheses. So really, I'm going to have a 2 that's being raised to the 4th power, and my x to the 2nd power is being multiplied by 4. You might be asking, okay, well, I'm kind of confused about the 2 to the 4th power. Well, technically this is 2 to the 1st power. Any number also is to the 1st power, so 2 to the 1st power. If I were to multiply 1 and 4, I will get 4. So that's where that's coming from. And if you simplify, you get the same answer as above. Okay? So that's kind of a basic explanation for this. And I showed you the long version and then the shorter version. We prefer the shorter version because again, we don't want to deal with the larger numbers like 32 or 24 that you might see in the future. So here are some 3 bonus questions for you that I'm going to solve and walk you through it. So number 3, I'm not going to do the expanded version. All I'm going to do is show you the shortened version. I'm going to write 2 to the first power here so that I can show you what I'm going to be doing with that. I'm going to distribute the exponent 4 to every term inside. So I'm going to copy down 2. Technically that's to the first power. I'm going to multiply that by 4. X to the second power, I'm going to multiply by 4. And y to the third power, I'm going to multiply by 4. If I do that, 2 to the 1 times 4 power is 2 to the 4th. I'll have to simplify that later. X to the second times 4 is x to the 8th. And then y to the third times 4 is y to the 12th power. I'm not done yet. I have one more thing to do, and that's 2 to the 4th power right here. 2 to the 4th power is 16. So this is 16 x to the 8th times y to the 12th. Okay? There you go. There's that example. For this next one, you have like a combo. You have 2 of these power to a power. So I'm going to go ahead and fill in my 1s to help you out, explain to you what's going on there. So any term by itself is really x to the first power or y to the first power, or 2 to the first power, you know. And same thing as we did before, we're going to distribute the correct exponent inside the parentheses. And I'm going to show you that below. Okay, just to save time, I've done that. I quickly did that for you. Notice that everything in the original problem is in black so that you can see where you're distributing the 3. So everything is raised to the third power if there's already a power. Now all we have to do is simplify. 2 to the 1 times 3 power is 2 to the third. This will become x to the 6th. So that's the first one. My second one is x to the second power and y to the second power. Now what we're going to do is take what we learned from the previous video, and we're going to combine our x's. Notice that we have an x and an x here. Well, let's go ahead and squish those together to make one term, and the y to the second is going to be by itself. So here we go. 2 to the third, I'll come back to that. I'm going to take this number, sorry, let me go ahead and use a color so I can show you. They have the same base, so if they have the same base, you're going to write the base down and add those exponents. 6 plus 2. Y to the second power is all ready for us, so we don't have to simplify that even more. So let's go ahead and write our final answer. 2 to the third power is 8. Okay, don't get confused with 6. 8 times x to the 8th power. So x to the 8th power, and then times y squared. So that is your final answer. So just to recap on these type of problems, make sure that you raise everything inside the parentheses to the power, or how I've been explaining it, you're going to distribute that power to everything inside. Okay, and then use the other laws of exponents to simplify, because we eventually will have a combo problem like that. If you have any questions, please let me know.